Okay, so who else have I got on my list? The next author I'm going to tell you all about is Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, I have not read any of her books. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head what she writes. Apart from, is it Obsidian, I want to say? I do not know. I have no idea. I really don't know what she writes. All I know is that she's quite big in America. And I don't know if that's just because we over here in the UK don't really get many of her books or something. I've never really seen her around. The only time I've seen her is on BookTube, and everybody loves her. And I just have not read any of her works, so I don't know when I'm going to get to them or whether I'm going to get to them. All I know is that I kind of feel bad that she's actually on this list, and I should probably get around to reading her at some point. So the next author I have is a bit of a shocker again. It's right up there with George R.R. Martin, and that is Diana Gabaldon. Now, she is the world's she's just like one of the most hyped authors going, right after John Green and George R.R. Martin. And she is the author of Cross Stitch, or the Outlander series. And I have Outlander upstairs in the it's like this big, and it's in the UK original edition called Cross Stitch, and I will get to it at some point. However, what is putting me off is a very trusted BookTube source has said that her books are all that length, and there's about 10 in the series, and it's quite a big commitment. However, this book seems to be doing well as a standalone, so I don't know, it's kind of putting me off. But at the size of it, I probably will read it a little bit quicker, but you never know. I might get around to it someday, might not. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So the next author is a little bit of a surprise again, and that is okay, so it's just downloading. Basically, this author, I have not read any of her works, and I don't know when I'm going to read them, but I found this one on a Kindle Daily Deal again. I think this one was 99p rather than like £5.99 or whatever it was, and it's a new release, so I was just like, I need to buy it. It's just, and it's I want to say it's a fairy tale retelling. I'm not too sure. I think it's a fairy tale retelling. It's a new release. It's a really hyped author. If you do not know who it is from those 3 little guesses, then I kind of worry about you guys. So, oh, it's got a map. It has a map, and that book is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I have not read any of Sarah J. Maas's work, and that is why she's on this list, clearly, and I feel like I'm missing out on a party. So when this was on offer, I couldn't exactly refuse. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Apparently it's a fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so hopefully this will break my Sarah J. Maas. See, I cannot really say virginity because that's a bit rude. I'm hoping it will break the sort of the seal on the Sarah J. Maas pool of books, and maybe, just maybe, I will get into the pile of Air of Fire and Throne of Glass and all that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden I'm very, very posh. Very, very posh. Oh darling, let's have some tea and scones. Okay, so, I know, I'm a bit weird today. I'm sorry guys. One of the next unread authors, I do actually have her book. I haven't hauled it yet, or I might have by the time this video goes up, and that is Marissa Meyer. Maya, whichever way you want to say it. I will always say Maya, because it was always Stephanie Meyer from Twilight and The Host. So it is Melissa Meyer, and I have Cinder in my bag, and I really need to read it, and I just have not got there yet. So, hopefully I'm going to get round to it at some point, because I get the impression, as another fairy tale retelling, it'll be a really, really quick read, so I'm looking forward to that one. And these next two can be classed as classical authors, but one of them technically wasn't an author. He was I want to say he was a playwright / scripter. Can someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below? This author is H.G. Wells, and his book is The War of the Worlds. I have that on my Kindle as well, but it was not intended to be a book originally, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, it was intended as a radio broadcast, and this radio broadcast, if people tuned into the middle of it, got the, there was this thing where, everyone got the impression that the world was coming to an end because they were actually listening to this broadcast of the War of the Worlds, and the way that the guy broadcasted it was as if it was a news bulletin, and everyone was just like, oh my god, the world's gonna end, what do we do? And then at the end he was like, and I shall see you all again tomorrow, blah blah blah, thank you for that, I'm the guest speaker, blah blah blah. And everyone was like, what, you really had me fooled, what the heck guys, not cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into a bit of H.G. Wells' work, and hopefully it's going to have that same sort of feel. And hey, he was the first guy who did the audiobook, if you think of it like that. The first ever audiobook was H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, I'm sure of it. Breakthrough, guys, I'm sure that's the first ever audiobook, like, ever. Wow, I've just blown my own mind. I'm on a roll today. Okay, so finally this one is one of the... Okay, I have quite a lot of classical authors, and I will say finally because I'm just going to list a couple of them, including Charles Dickens and Alexander Dumas, both of whom, that's only 2 books, both of whom I have upstairs quite a lot of books written by them. That made no sense. I will try the word thing again. Okay, so I have Alexander Dumas and Charles Dickens. Their books I both own. My words are terrible today. I own a book, at least one book by both author, and you know, I just haven't got around to reading it yet. I mean, the reason I bought The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas was because it was £1, and the size of it is terrifying me, but I also have it on my Kindle, so I might even pick it up on Kindle. But anyway, I haven't got around to reading these 2 authors yet, and they are possibly 2 of the world's most famous authors. Yeah, I really need to get around to reading them. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm thinking I might read Charles Dickens around Christmas time. He always has that Christmassy kind of feel, regardless of the books. It's always that Christmassy kind of feel because of A Christmas Carol. So yeah, those are the 2, the end 2. And relax. Okay guys, so that is it for today's embarrassing ... installment. Today's embarrassing was embarrassing unread authors, and I will be coming at you with embarrassing unfinished books and unfinished series, and embarrassing books that I have not read, which is probably the same thing. But I don't know. If you have any ideas for an embarrassing ... installment, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you with whether that's a good idea and when I'm going to start filming it. And hopefully I'll see you all with another video soon. Bye!